The afternoon sun cast long shadows through the dusty windows of the old Whitmore house, illuminating a trail of motes that shimmered like tiny suspended stars. Sophie paused at the foot of the staircase, her hand resting on the banister, its wood smooth yet cool to the touch. The house, once vibrant, now stood steeped in silence, except for the soft creaking of the floorboards beneath her feet. With every step, Sophie felt the air grow heavier, the scent of mildew and aged wood thickening like a damp blanket. Her fingers brushed along the faded wallpaper, a floral pattern now grayed and peeling. As she reached the second floor, a strange whispering seemed to emanate from behind a closed door at the end of the hall. The brass knob gleamed, polished and out of place compared to the room's decay. Sophie hesitated, the hairs on the back of her neck rising. There was a small handwritten note taped to the door. Cursive letters twisted in uneven strokes warned, "Do not enter." But curiosity tinged with a sense of impending doom pulled her closer. The whisper faded for a moment, replaced by a faint rhythmic tapping. She leaned closer, her ear nearly touching the cold wood. A chill rushed through her. The sound came not from beyond the door, but from within her own mind. The echo of something she couldn't understand, the pulse of an ancient warning. Sophie grasped the knob, its surface smooth yet unyielding against her palm. Just as she twisted it, the air shifted. A sudden gust of cold surged through the hall, tugging at her hair and blooming goosebumps across her skin. Shivers shot up her spine as the door creaked open, revealing a room shrouded in shadow. Inside, a shattered glass floor darkly reflected fragments of her astonished expression. She took a step in, hesitant, and her foot echoed on the shards, sending a cascade of tiny crystalline cracks reverberating into the silence. The room smelled of decay, thick and acrid, as if years of secrets had clung to these walls. In the dim light, she caught sight of an empty rocking chair, swaying slightly as though an unseen presence had just relinquished it. The air grew heavier, each breath feeling more labored as tension coiled tightly in her chest. Then an unexpected whisper surged forth, a guttural voice wrapped in a shroud of sorrow. "Release me." The air crackled with energy, and she spun around, eyes wide to the corners of the room, searching for the source. In that moment the shadows shifted, and a pair of pale mist-like hands formed in the air, beckoning her forward with a desperate need. In a spellbound trance, she felt the warm breath of another presence swirling about her, pulling her closer towards the chair. And then, everything stopped. The whispers ceased. The rocks beneath her feet scattered like marbles, and the room became unnaturally still. It was just her, the chair, and the eerie sensation of countless eyes watching from the dark. With a desperate escape in mind, she bolted back towards the door, slamming it shut behind her with a reverberating thud that shook the walls. Heart pounding, she pressed her back against the door, awaiting the inevitable echo of shattered glass and sorrowful whispers that would follow her out of that room. Later, when she had returned to the safety of her own home, the house remained an echo in her thoughts, its presence unfurling like smoke. She understood now the gravity of her choice. It was too late to forget. Those whispers would linger, carving shadows deeper into the recesses of her mind, and whatever was sealed behind that door would forever seek her return. And so, Sophie was left with an unsettling realization. Some doors are fated to remain closed, not for ignorance or fear, but for the preservation of one's very soul.